This is our 2005 Toyota 4Runner SR5 four-wheel drive. We bought it brand new. Along the way, over the years, I developed a rattle in the front end. Going over any bounces at all, I'd get a rattle. The way I troubleshot it was if I put my foot slightly on the brake and went over a bump, the rattle went away. So I really thought it had something to do with the pads, because when you're driving, the pads are slightly free floating and able to move. And when you have your foot on the brake, those pads are under a lot of pressure. They're not allowed to move around very much. So when I came in here years ago, what I found was the anti-rattle spring, which was normally in this position, was gone. I mean, it had broken and it was physically gone. When my wife said the pads are rattling on this again the other day, I came out here fully expecting that spring to be broken again, and it wasn't. The spring that I had put in here about a year or so ago, when I replaced this caliper, was still intact. It didn't have a whole lot of tension on it, but it was still fine. But when I grabbed the top pads, I could physically move them and I could make them rattle. So went out, bought brand new springs and pins for the bottom. And while I was looking around, I looked at it and said, I can put a second one up here. They didn't come from Toyota with a second one on here. But when I look at it, all of the indentations and everything is in place to put a second one on there. So I'm thinking, why have one just on the back? Why not put one on the front? And when I moved this, I could hear my rattle. And I put the second one on, and I cannot move it now. I cannot hear it rattle. I've already put it back together and driven it, and this has fixed my problem. So if you have a rattle that when you hear it, when you go over a bounce, when you are not on the brakes, and when you go over a bounce, put your foot slightly on the brakes, if that bounce or that rattle does not happen, look for this spring, the original one, see if that's here or if it's gone, if it's weak. But while you're at it, for another $3, go ahead and get a second set, and not only replace this one, that's the factory location, go ahead and put a second one on this end, and that keeps both ends from moving around and rattling when you're not on the brakes. I've already done that on the right hand side of this one, and that is going to be my fix for this. I can't believe that was rattling with just one on here after all these years, but that's my case, and that is the fix. Again, I'm posting this hopefully so this will help some of you that are having the same situation. Thanks for watching.